Good morning, I'm Doris Polo with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. 2 men believed to be Trinbagonians were killed in the latest U.S. drone strike off Venezuelan waters. And now a Las Cuevas family is demanding answers. Now, when Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar said the United States should kill alleged drug dealers violently, no citizen was listed among the dead. On the United States' 5th airstrike, however, Trinidadians Chad Joseph and another man identified only as Samaru were among 6 people killed on Tuesday, taking the number of alleged narco-traffickers killed by the U.S. since September 2nd to 27. Joseph's grandfather, Cornel Clement, denied his grandson was a drug trafficker.
I watch it as wickedness. So why we killing people Toronto? They're not meant that way. They're supposed to be that way.
You say he was a drug trafficker, but he was...
No. The boy is no drug trafficker. He just make the run and come back.
A 9-year-old boy and his father were shot yesterday when 4 masked gunmen stormed their 3rd-floor apartment in Building 16 Maloney. The boy was hit in the left heel as he slept, while his 33-year-old father was shot in the left toe after diving onto his son to shield him. Residents heard gunshots around 4 a.m. and scrambled to protect their children. One woman tells CNC3 News she prayed for the shooting to stop, unaware that 2 gunmen stood just outside her apartment. The suspect climbed 3 flights of stairs and knocked loudly on the family's door. The father, believing they were police officers, unlocked the deadbolt but tried to shut the door after realizing they were armed intruders. 2 gunmen kicked it in and opened fire. The suspects then fled in a waiting car. Both victims are in a stable condition at hospital. Reduced allocations for the PNM-controlled regional corporations could result in job losses, and the San Fernando mayor says it could affect his city corporation. Simon de Nobrega is calling it political victimization, saying all UNC corporations received increases, but local government minister Khadija Amin says the funding system has long been unfair and is being reviewed. Mayor Robert Parris, facing a $4.4 million cut, says he'll meet with his team to find creative solutions, but warns that job cuts may be unavoidable. Those were your 6 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another update at the top of the hour right here on CNC3 and the TBC radio network.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Oh yes, good Thursday morning, running into your brand new day. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the latest installment of the Morning Brew. Jason Williams signing on, action-packed and lots of pace this morning. Of course, as always, the mental health matters with Johansson later on after 7. But inside the first hour, the Business Guardian breakdown and a up-close and very impactful conversation. I'll be joined by the Minister of Labour, Minister Batiste, Leroy Batiste. He will join me to discuss some of the issues surrounding the 10% and job opportunities and everything within that particular sector. Coming out of Budget 2026, we continue with our post-mortem, and we will be joined by the Minister of Labour this morning. But in the meantime, let's go through the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. As always, a joy and treasure to be in your company. JW checking in until 7:30. From 7:30, Ian Wason comes in with the morning shot, in-depth look at sport. We're looking at this development. 2 trainees killed in U.S. strike, many in the Las Cuevas North Coast area. Very concerned with this development, and more so I'm looking on as to, will there be any public outcry? Will there be any raising of the voice, a collective raising of the voice with this development? Of course, on the front page, a picture of the deceased Chad Joseph and another man only identified as Samaru, and, well, the grandparents of Joseph, clearly distraught, We wait to get more details concerning this development, but this, some suggested it was a matter of time, because with the kind of strikes we would have seen in the last couple of weeks, yes, it would have been targeting narco traffickers, quote unquote. Again, many asking for evidence to get a deep understanding as to what intelligence is being used and how they're able to pinpoint certain vessels in the open waters. And we're hearing this morning that 2 Trinis would have been part of the latest strike that transpired earlier this week. So we'll keep our eyes on that story. Also, a very heartbreaking one out of Maloney yesterday. Early hours of the morning, before the sun even come up, gunmen storm into an apartment building, level 3, shooting at a father, and the father went to protect his 9-year-old son. They were both injured in the attack. Thankfully, they're alive, and we stand by to get more details. I know the TTPS, they will be on top of that development. Other big major stories inside The Guardian this morning concerning, of course, Budget 2026, but I want to pivot to the back page immediately because, well, the coach is disappointed. I'm disappointed, and many in the country, we are indeed disappointed. It's still not over. It's going to take a miracle, more or less, to get us over the line. But again, just falling short. And we didn't play a bad game, as I said yesterday. Good knock, I love the brand. We dominated the possession. But goals win games, and we had, unfortunately, a defensive error. Curacao, they capitalized, they went ahead, and we kept pushing, and we obviously did not get the go-ahead goal. We were able to equalize, so we come away with a point. Jamaica won their game. We face Jamaica next month, and then Bermuda, our final game. So it's all to play for, and we wish Coach York and the team the best going into the final 2 games for this, the business end of World Cup qualifying 2026. Let's move on now to the brief this morning. Climate expert says protecting the earth is a spiritual duty, and I agree. There's only one planet. There's no plan B, there's no planet C, there's no, I see they're building all kind of stuff and want to go on Mars. Who want to live on Mars? It have any maracas? It have any bacon shark up there? I could go run up on the breezy pines in Mars. I could go sit down by some river. I could go by a waterfall out there. Give me a chance for that. Right? So let's treat and deal with the earth that we know, the home that we love, and where we live. Who want to go Mars? Let them go Mars. In some space suit, in some chrome building floating around the place. Now I want a part of that. Right? So that's one I embrace, and for those who do whatever they can to protect this planet and to protect the space, we applaud you. Keep doing the right thing. Let's get ready for the Business Guardian breakdown. As promised last week with Anthony, it's going to be the budget post-mortem and the Business Guardian. Let me tell you, it's a major publication this morning. So many talking points. Anthony joins me next for the Business Guardian breakdown today, Thursday. See you soon.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chaguanas, building value every day.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2 Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose, and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Dominica, this is the Burning Flame straight out of Antigua, and we're coming to blaze up the stage for the 25th edition of the World Creole Music Festival, October 24th to 26th.
You ready for the real fire?
The real jam and the real party. You can't miss this one. See you in Dominica, the nature island of the Caribbean. Blah, 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 blah.
Question: how much does a funeral go for these days? I guarantee the figure you're thinking is way smaller than the actual cost. Because even though life is priceless, death is real expensive. But CUNA Caribbean's Family Indemnity Plan can help for things like sudden funeral costs, plus the other bills left behind that could threaten your finances. And imagine, for a monthly payment of less than $70, you could cover up to 9 family members. And you don't have to take a medical exam to sign up. So don't stick. Get the Family Indemnity Plan. Why? Because it's a good thing. Trust me. CUNA Caribbean Insurance. For all people. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Let's get into the Business Guardian breakdown with my colleague Anthony Wilson. He joins me on the Zoom line. Anthony, I must say this, well, I must say within the last probably year, this is probably the, I mean, I'm feeling weight. It's plenty here. I mean, lots of pages, lots of analysis. You already went over and beyond this time around. Good morning, Anthony. Great to see you.
Morning, Jason. Morning. Thank you very much.
Well, let's go on this front page story where we're treating with what was established via the budget, higher loan rates from asset levy, and the suggestion, well, as so Geisha did the piece, basically the impact on customers of banks. Give us some details.
Yes. Morning again. So the Minister of Finance, during the budget presentation on Monday, announced that the government plans to introduce a 0.25% tax on the assets of commercial banks and insurance companies. This is something that's been introduced and is operating in Jamaica and Barbados at least. So we have some regional experience of how it works. The minister and the economists that we spoke with suggest that because it's a tax on assets, that the commercial banks and insurance companies may find a way to pass on that tax to customers. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's another, based on all the stories, a very interesting development there, and Geisha gave us some details. I'm looking at your story, Anthony. It's a tight one this morning, so I want to get to your piece, and you're asking the question, is government planning to borrow $19 billion in 2026? As a matter of fact, you did some drilling. What did the numbers reveal, Anthony?
Yeah. The numbers reveal that there is a line item in the revenue, draft estimates of revenue 2026, which indicates that the financing for the 2026 period is close to $19 billion. I actually went looking for the document on Tuesday, didn't find it, and then found it later Tuesday. But the point is, in my piece today, I'm suggesting that the only thing that could account for that large amount of spending is the government's 10%, the mandate that the minister received to offer public servants a 10% salary increase. So the piece basically asks some questions of the minister, which I hope he responds to either tomorrow or during his wrapping up of the 2026 budget presentation.
Indeed. In the minute that remains, a couple seconds before we take the pause, because the Minister of Labour is standing by to get into some of the post.
You need to ask him that question. You really should ask him that question, yeah.
Well, indeed, yes. We'll get a chance to get some clarity from the Minister momentarily. But as we wrap things up, when you speak to business interests and just the citizenry, what's the general feel of the budget 2026? Does it give a sense of optimism at all? What's the general feedback on the budget?
I think generally people are satisfied and praising of the budget because there were one or two, or maybe more than one or two benefits in the budget for them. For example, the $1 decrease in the price of super gasoline per liter is a significant benefit for people. So I think the takeaway is that a lot of people see the benefits for them, but do not see the other side of the coin, which is that there are things in the budget that are going to mean that certain costs are going to go up. For example, the tariff on electricity for industrial and commercial customers may in fact lead to an increase in the cost of grocery and supermarket items.
Well, Anthony, we'll stick up in there for now. Obviously, I know next week, God spare, we'll get a chance to elaborate some more. Thank you for the perspective, and thank you for a very, I would say, extensive and impactful business guardian this week. We'll definitely enjoy. All the best, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Up next, the Minister of Labour, Minister Batiste. He joins me for the budget post-mortem analysis. Labour Minister.
Folks, take a look at all these medical conditions. What does it have in common? This, ITIS. But what does ITIS really mean?
The suffix itis denotes inflammation of a specified organ or tissue.
ITIS really means inflammation. How do we combat chronic inflammation? Through lifestyle changes. Then, and only then, make sure you're getting enough omega-3 fatty acids.
Always consult a qualified medical professional before starting any supplements.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. Join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve. Big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
High blood pressure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aja Nutrition's blood pressure support is crafted with a clinical strength blend to help you take control naturally. Gentle on the body, powerful for your heart. Blood pressure support by Aja Nutrition. Naturally strong.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That should big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop 2021 Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasant Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Need to upgrade to a better phone system? Contact the experts at Voice Outsourcing. In office or remote, our phone system allows you to take every call. Grow your bottom line by offering excellent customer service. Call 217-1895 or 628-8182 or email today.
Let the divine lights of the Dias bring victory over darkness into your life. Happy Diwali to all. A message from Kaleidoscope Paints Limited.
For far too long, our public officers, the backbone of our nation's workforce, have been made to carry the weight of the former government's neglect and indifference. This government is taking this bold and historic step to restore justice, dignity, and respect to the hard-working men and women of the public service. After 9 long years of stagnation, we are committed to finally bringing all parties back to the bargaining table to address this long overdue injustice. On the completion of the bargaining process, we will work with Republic Bank, First Citizens Bank, and the National Insurance Board to find a comprehensive solution to discharge this national obligation. This government is focused on delivery and not delay, workers' rights and not neglect, appreciation and not excuses. In furtherance of the conclusion of negotiations for the civil service, statutory authorities, and the Tobago House of Assemblies for the periods 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. The Honorable Prime Minister has instructed me to advise the Chief Personnel Officer to submit a revised offer of 10%.
And many were waiting for that announcement, and it came on Monday via the budget presentation. With me, Senator Leroy Batiste, Minister of Labor. I want to thank you so much, Senator, for being here. Of course, we want to get some perspective, some deeper clarity on some of the developments, and I'm sure yourself and many others would have been very instrumental in ensuring that what was our campaign promise, what was mentioned vigorously during the election process, became a reality. What's your particular sentiment, and how intimately involved were you in ensuring that that became a reality?
Well, good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes,
morning,
welcome.
Jason. Good
welcome.
morning. Good morning to your viewership. And let me take the little time out, being the Minister of Labor, Small and Micro Enterprise Development. I also have under my portfolio cooperatives.
Also credit union. Yes.
So I want to wish the credit union movement happy International Credit Union Day.
Yes, yes.
So
all protocols observed. Yes.
So that is important. Of course, I'm elated because I have the duality of pleasure to be both I wore a different hat with this particular issue of decent work and the treatment of workers with respect and dignity was important to me when I wore that particular hat as the president of the Public Service Association. When I would have taken clear positions, what is acceptable and what is not. And that the previous government's treatment of workers I view as absolutely disrespectful when they were to roll back terms and conditions of employment within the consolidation of their cost of living allowance. And the disrespectful offer of first 2% for 8 years and then followed by a 4% for 6 years.
Could you get some clarity there? Because I'm looking at The Guardian this morning and I'm realizing there is some shifting of the numbers and the timelines. The former finance minister, Mr. Mbert, would have mentioned that in his critique of the budget, he made some statements. You came out swinging, suggesting that they were, quote, a complete lie, untrue. He said it never took place, end quote. Just for the benefit of the viewing audience, walk us through the difference with the numbers and the timeline.
Oh, sure. The outstanding bargaining periods, Jason, the outstanding bargaining periods are 2014, 2016, 3-year periods, yes? 2017, 2019, yes? And then it continues in 3-year period. They'll have 2020, 2022, so forth, so fifth, coming right up to 2025. At the time of these negotiations, the period that was under question was 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. The first offer that came from the government after workers would have waited for 8-9 years to commence negotiation, because the last administration simply disregarded collective bargaining process. So you had to wait. And when they commenced negotiation back then, it was with an offer of 2% for 2014, 2015, 2016. It was 0.02. And then the next period was a 5-year period. Yes, from 2017 to 2021, which was 0.0001%. Sorry, let me backtrack. The first offer, when I say 2%, would have been 0.01% for 2014 to 2016, and then for the 5-year period, they had 0 for the first 4 years, and then 1% again. So they offered 2% for 8 years. And you could recall that we had some serious protest action that took place. And then subsequently, they came back with another offer, and the offer would have been 4%. For the period 2014 to 2016, 0.02, and 2017 to 2019, 0.02. Yes? So it would have been 4% for 6 years, Jason. Yes? Now, what I'm saying to you here is beyond dispute. That's just the facts. That is what was on the table and nothing else. Yes? So you had that for that six years, they would have again refused to consolidate COLA. That would have been another part of their position that the Public Service Association would have rejected, Jason. Some unions, because the government, when we rejected that offer, the government referred the matter as a dispute to the special tribunal, yes? And the special tribunal attempted to impose 10 years. Those matters, the Public Service Association would have taken those matters to court, which we subsequently won, both at the High Court and at the Court of Appeal level, yes? What they're speaking about, this question of this 9%, some unions, when it went to court, decided to, because the court was threatening some 10 years to impose the same 4% for 10 years, accepted the 4%. Some unions did so. Just prior to the last election, the budget prior to the last election, what the then Minister of Finance did, he came out again swinging and suggested for the unions who accepted the 4%, that he was putting on the table for the period 2020 to 2022, which is an additional three years, at 5%. He put that 5% offer. So now we're not talking about 6 years now, we're talking about 9 years. So he put that 5% offer over a 9-year period, only for the unions who would have previously accepted the 4%. Yes? What this government is doing is not treating with that 2020 to 2022 period. They're treating with the period 2014 to 2019, that first 6-year period, when the government had offered 4%. This government, based on its promise during the election campaign, that it will put an offer of not less than 10% for the period 2014 to 2019. So it's a 6-year period that 10 years that 10% covers.
And in that regard, Minister Batiste, I want to ask, would the tens of thousands who will be impacted by this, what is rightfully theirs, obviously, will they get it before Christmas? And more so, Anthony Wilson, I was talking to the Business Guardian desk just a couple of minutes ago. He was suggesting that, could we afford it? Will the government ultimately have to borrow money to suffice and to treat with this particular payout?
Well, you would have heard the Minister of Finance. You had a last administration that was a take it or leave it approach. Collective bargaining would have been thrown out the door. Not this administration. We have an industrial relations framework that is defined as how we treat with salaries, and we call that process collective bargaining. What the Minister of Finance would have done was the promise was to put an offer of not less than 10%. Instructed the CPO to place that before the recognized association that treats with the workers, that is the Public Service Association, and let the collective bargaining process begin. Whether it's concluded, because not just salaries, they have a number of issues that they will be treating with, but whether the process concludes before Christmas, that is up to the parties. So that process has been initiated now, and let that process
take its course.
And let me just give that assurance to the population that whatever the obligations, when there's a settlement, that this government will meet its obligation.
I want to speak now to productivity. How do we measure return on investment? Obviously, public servant workers deserve their due. You know, they are integral to the wheels of Trinidad and Tobago turning, and they show up every single day. And I know they give up their best, but there are some who obviously, we know there could be a bigger effort and there's much to be desired. So how do we measure the productivity and ensure that the 10% and whatever they ask for and they get it, we able to get that return, as it will, on the investment?
Well, we're talking about a past period. Just to be clear, we are speaking about a past period. Not just a past period, a long past period. We're talking about people on 2013 salaries. This is 2025. That's 12 years ago. You know time value of money, that whatever they're going to receive now would have lost a lot of purchasing power. So I'm saying all that to say that one can imagine the level of demotivation that would have existed with that kind of treatment met out to the public officers. But having said that, as the Minister of Labour, Small and Micro Enterprise Development, a part and parcel of that what I would have been focused on and engaged with is our tripartite partners, which include the employers and employer associations and the trade unions. And I've placed that squarely on their table, that we have to sit and treat with the whole issue of productivity. I don't think we have a choice, Jason. This country has to treat with the productivity issues like never before. We're in a pivotal time where it is clear to all and sundry that the boom and bust era is virtually over in terms of waiting for the next boom, oil boom. We have to treat with the diversification issues. We have to treat with, as you know, the Minister of Finance, he would have pointed to areas of diversification, whether it's tourism, whether it's sports tourism, whether it's yachting, aviation, the green economy. There's no kicking the can down the road. It's here, and we're going to treat with it. And I have invited, and I want to say this, on both the employer and the Employers Association and the trade union movement have made a commitment to engage in a process to treat with the productivity issues, and I'm talking about in a measurable way. So we're going to be meeting and treating with it. We're developing a framework in conjunction with the ILO to treat with this productivity issue. that will be coming soon. So that is something that is squarely on the table of the Minister of Labor and the Ministry of Labor.
Is there any consideration at all to a work from home policy? I mean, we all know of the traffic woes. We know of some folks having to come from far and wide. Some weather events, so many different factors, multiple limbs of consideration could cause someone to be either extremely late or just not show up. Is there going to be any kind of consideration in that regard, a work from home policy?
One word, yes.
Okay, how soon will we get details and how soon will it roll out?
It's all part and parcel of developing with the tripartite partners. So that is front burner.
Fantastic front burner. In terms of vacancies within the public sector, trying to fill these particular vacancies, job creation, let's get to that conversation.
Yes. Well, you would have heard the Honorable Prime Minister. She leads with her heart. If it's one thing the Prime Minister would always be saying, but she cares. And believe you me, as one who have been in this business for a while, and my whole being has been job security, it is important. And one of the commitment that she would have signaled openly is the filling of vacancies. Because in the filling of vacancies, we have a commitment as members of the international labor fraternity, i.e. members of the ILO, to decent work. And the filling of vacancies is one of the ways to achieve that, because those jobs are well defined and they're secure. And we want to ensure we could bring about job security for the citizenry. And therefore, we are embarking on filling the vacancies all through the state sectors and the public service. But I want to say that job initiative is so important that it is receiving prime ministerial, not ministerial, prime ministerial attention.
Well, I look forward to it.
And that job initiative will be one of the Prime Minister will be treated with that frontally.
Well, I look forward to her commentary, whether it be tomorrow in the upcoming days, because yes. I know with the CPEP and the URP scenario, the reasoning for the shutting down, as it were, was to restructure, to give the folks working there sustainable jobs, some level of continuity and I guess pride within their service.
Yes.
Will they be absorbed into some new structure? Will they be part of the cooperation? I mean, many are really waiting with bated breath as to what will happen to those 30,000 plus people who are currently in the job line.
So hear me, I'm going to prime ministerial attention.
Yes.
It's receiving prime ministerial attention.
So she will attend and treat with that?
It will be treated with. Hear me. We all have known the issues associated with quote-unquote CPEP, URP. I'm not going to get into that. I want to say that among those matters are sub judice. Some of those matters are attracting the attention of the court. Because there are issues that my colleagues would have been faced with as to whether millions of dollars would have been spent without the necessary approvals and what have you. Sometimes you have to address issues when you meet it. But one of the things I could share with you that the Prime Minister is concerned with above all else is people's jobs. So it's unfortunate that what happened, but all attention, a whole of government approach to try to treat with this job issue. And the Prime Minister herself is leading that charge. Yes? There's this scripture that weeping endureth for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. We're all looking forward to finding a solution. Necessity is the mother of invention. And having to treat with this issue once and for all is we will hope for a very successful conclusion. Bit by bit, we will bring about decent jobs and sustainable jobs on behalf of the citizenry of this country.
I want to get some remarks on the NIS increase. Could give us some more clarity in that regard?
Well, the NIS is a situation that we have met that is had to be treated with. If we fail to treat with it within a few years, 7 years on the outside level, that we would have persons retiring and not being able to receive a benefit. That's what if we did not treat with it now, within 7 years, 2033, thereabout, you would have persons not being able to receive any benefit whatsoever. So again, people voted and give this government the responsibility to take charge of this economic environment that we call Trinidad and Tobago, and we had to deal with that issue. And the Minister of Finance would have dealt with it frontally. But let me just say that there's a lot of mischief where people try to perceive, they see the 3% and try to make it as though 3% of person's salary we're going to be taken away and given it to the NIB. That's the 3% would be a 3% on your contribution. $11, $18 is minuscule in terms of the increase, but when come together, it will support the continuity of the NIB. Yes?
What's the momentum with SME development within the ministry? Was the ethos there? What's the momentum?
Well, we don't talk about, I just spoke about diversification and diversification strategies.
But in terms of like what angle you want to really focus on? Because, we've heard the word diversification. Yes. I've always said jokingly, since I'm khaki pants and tall socks, I hear that word being touted since the 80s. Yeah. But how could we really get it to truly contribute in a significant way to our overall economic standing?
Well, because this time around, at the national level, we are setting a framework, a diversification strategy at the national level. We are pinpointing the areas of focus at a national level.
What sectors are you looking at?
Well, we spoke...
Because I know you said sporting...
Sport tourism.
Sport tourism.
Health. That's a major aspect too in terms of diversification strategy. Health, tourism. We are speaking about yachting. We are speaking about...
Maritime.
Good. Yes. Right. The cruise ship. Yes. Mm-hmm. Aviation, and a whole number, a list of. In the budget debate, those things will become clear. We have the Minister of Trade and we have the Minister of Planning, and they are intimately involved with those areas, and they would be outlining the strategies. But importantly is that the SME now would align itself with those national diversification strategies. Mm-hmm. Yes? So it will impact sectoral level and the enterprise level. And there's where you would have, it's not that someone getting a grant for a grant's sake, but we're going to be harnessing the small entrepreneurship and supporting with all the advice and mentorship and to support them to build businesses aligned with the overall diversification strategy, which I want to emphasize we have no choice.
Yes.
But to treat with diversification once and for all. Over the years, the boom and boost era, people just spoke to it and did not treat with it. But this government, we're going to be treating with it once and for all. Diversification is here, and we will make it happen.
Minister, as we wrap things up in the couple seconds that remain, I'll give you a chance to speak directly and put a closing remark to the working public, the workforce of this twin island state, Trinidad and Tobago. The floor is yours.
Well, Jason, workers in this country, labor in this country, has reason to be optimistic. The last administration ran this country based on fear. And I want to quote, FEAR. We all know the idea of threats and imposition and the likes. The Prime Minister, her approach is also based on fear, FEIR, to make sure and create balance and to put the working class and to achieve on their behalf decent and sustainable jobs. They can look forward to that happening.
Minister, all the best. And happy Credit Union Day to all the credit unions out there, the cooperatives. Indeed, it's a very important one and significant day. We take the pause and we come back around the police and news segment. Officer Ali joins me. A couple of very major, important talking points as we get ready for a long weekend here in TNT. See you soon.
Built to Last has a massive sale on roofing materials, including standing seam. Invest in durable roofing sheets at unbeatable prices. Choose our supply and installation package and enjoy huge savings on your roof. Quality materials, quality prices, quality workmanship. Our name says it all. Built to last for roofing that is built to last. We will not be beaten on price. Enjoy free delivery and free roll forming on standing seam and guttering on site. Call us now, 355-7703.
Ho, 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 ho. Start the season sweet with Jimmy Abood's annual Christmas in October sale. Get up to 60% off on curtains, sheet sets, floor mats, upholstery fabric, and more. Shop now at the last big sale of the year.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deva Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around, high quality meat pound for pound. Get the best for less, start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket. Shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices. Every aisle just wide and spacious. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
A legal officer under the umbrella of the TTPS, Officer Ali, joins me. Corporal Ali, always a pleasure to have you. You know, I mean, it's been a hectic week. Huh? Lots would have transpired, and we'll get into some of the, these stories that would have made the news cycle. But before we get there, it's going to be a long weekend, and I want to at least give you the opportunity to give some more advice as it pertains to fireworks safety. And as always, great to see you. Welcome. Good morning.
Well, thank you very much, W. You know, consecutive weeks. Yes. You know, it's indeed a pleasure and honor to be as always, and thanks to you and the CNC3 family. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago and those who may be visiting and viewing the program. JW, let me begin, you know, on a positive note by, you know, wishing the national community Shubh Diwali. I know that we are in the period leading up to Diwali, and, you know, the festivity is very high. And, you know, I ask for respect, and most importantly, you know, to engage your question, or the engagement with reference to the responsibility that resides with all of us. And, you know, I'll immediately take us to the Summary Offences Act, just as a gentle reminder that the use of fireworks, and fireworks, may I say, has been caught in the definition of explosives. That's significant. Fireworks being caught in the definition of explosives, and there are criminal offences within our law books, albeit the fines are not as heavy as one would be expecting, but they are criminal offenses. And for those who want to read further, let's just look at Section 99, Section 100, and Section 101, so that we can be properly educated with reference to the use of fireworks. In simplicity, the towns and the boroughs, it's a no-no for use of fireworks. Additionally, on the streets, public roads, it's also a no-no for the use of fireworks. And if you have to use fireworks within the public road or in a town or borough, the instructions are very clear by law that you must be guided by an order issued by the Commissioner of Police or a superintendent authorized by him, made pursuant to regulations under the hands of the Homeland Minister. So very significant issues. You know, we have grown in a society that we have taken things, JW, lightly, but to only stop and check, realize we may be contravening the law.
You know, Officer Ali, I always wanted to ask, is it that when we have these discussions, it's more of a stern warning? Because I know there are laws on the books, but the next part of it and the equation will always be enforcement.
Yes.
do you know, could you recall, anybody was ever charged for letting off fireworks in an urban space? People who ran afoul of this particular mandate of fireworks. I mean, do the officers have the tenacity, the wherewithal to really pursue these folks, especially with other really more serious crimes about the place?
Excellent question, JW. And perhaps you've taken me, I haven't signaled to the national community yet. I'm in transition to another office, looking at response and policy where law enforcement is concerned. And I'm happy that you asked that question, because while I don't have the statistics to indicate how many persons may have been arrested and charged or even spoken to, you are right in terms of the response to enforce the law. And hence why I indicated before that sometimes we are doing things but not recognizing that we are in breach of the law. How would you know that you're in breach of the law? Only when the law enforcement agencies move to tell you that you have committed a criminal offense. So I think it's excellent that you have raised that this morning, and I'll use this opportunity to urge my law enforcement colleagues. I'll urge them to recognize within the law books the issue of fireworks and the use of fireworks. And may I say, under the state of emergency regulations, explosives is defined there as well. So there's a lot of significance with reference and a lot of correlation in terms of what we are talking about. But I'm urging them to look at it, respond to it, and take the appropriate actions. And I'll tell you why I haven't discussed the consequences, GW. I think it's obvious to everyone. The consequences or what the mischief the law is trying to protect. We have heard about the animals. We have heard about the elderly persons. Wow. But more importantly, fires. Fires, yeah. And hence why you have these matters regulated, so that if you're going to have any substantial use of fireworks, you must have the support system in place. And may I say as well that while I spoke about the borough and the town, and even the streets, but the borough and town is concerned, even 2 miles from the borders of the borough and the town. So you're even extending further, and even on the streets, 60 feet from a street or a public road. So very, very serious issue. But thank you very much for opening that enforcement issue.
Indeed. Well said. And obviously it's one that, again, with this long weekend and with the Diwali celebrations where it's customary to have fireworks as part of it, we ask people to just be a little more mindful. We look at the murder spike and the uptick, and it's so heartbreaking, because when we look at the overall statistic, it's way less compared to last year. And officers obviously can't be in every corner and every crevice and gully. But the reality is, over the last couple of days, we have seen an uptick. What's the overall strategic approach? And when we see some of these murders, many do not know what happens on the back end in terms of the investigations, if people are really brought before the courts to answer for such heinous crimes. Give us the details as to the collective approach for this recent spike.
Well, GW, this sounds like, very, coincidental or deja vu, whichever one we want to look at it. Last week, a similar question came last week from your good self, with the upsurge in crime, murders last week. And we are seeing, and not to direct effort to the Brasso and to the Maloney area. Where, and
children too,
and I'm not going to indicate that. That is the troubling part, where our nation's children are being impacted one way or the other. In relation to response, I think that that response to crime and criminality, I will respectfully say that while a lot is being done, there's a lot more to be done. And a lot more to be done in the context of really reviewing our response to crime and criminality in a 360 context. And I'll tell you why I'm saying our response to crime and criminality. Here it is, we have children who may have been impacted. And, I like to use this platform, JW, to make a very salient but strong statement this morning, that if you have children being impacted by crime and criminality, is it that the Children's Authority are interested or sufficiently interested to find out whether a child may have been exposed to crime and criminality, whether a child may have been accompanying a criminal, just to make sure that we are doing a diligent check to ensure that when we see our children impacted, it is not a situation where that child may have been exposed or accompanying a criminal where now they are creating a situation for conflict. So this is the sort of thinking in my respectful view, policy-wise, that when we are looking at crime and criminality, not only from a detection and prosecution context, but looking at the other frills, and in this case, just by way of example, really determining the children that are impacted. Who are they? Who are they in the presence of? Are they in need of care and protection? Because it may have meant that probably an early intervention may have assisted not only the children, but that family.
How close do you all work at the TTPS with the Children's Authority? Is there an intimate relationship there, a passing of information, a cross-fertilization, as it were?
Well, there should be a great relationship. There should. To say this morning whether, in fact, there's an efficient and effective relationship, I'm not in a position to say only the persons who are entrusted to have that engagement will be able to measure that level of engagement. But just looking at the reports, one would have expected that if there was, in fact, an intervention, definitely that would have made the headlines, that the Children's Authority may have become interested in what it is transpiring in those communities. And this is in no way being prejudicial to the Children's Authority, but opening the door for the respective stakeholders. Remember, JW, we have spoken about crime response. It's not a TTPS thing alone.
It's everybody.
It has to be a holistic, so there may be a requirement or a need for other agencies to step in to lend that support. And that's the point I'm looking to drive home. And I'm not saying that those children in Maloney and Brasso may have been a situation where they're in need of care and protection, but at least let us get in and do a screening to determine so that we can get a better understanding of the matter.
Due diligence, as it were.
Excellent.
As we wrap things up in the seconds that remain, any advice to those looking on going into this long weekend?
Well, I'd just like to end where we begin, JW, that, while it's a period of observance, from a religious context, some, festivity, we'll be moving around the nation's road, going to family and friends over the long weekend. I'm urging persons to be responsible on the nation roads as well. Be responsible in how you enjoy. Be reminded of the regulation in relation and the laws in relation to the use of fireworks. And I hope and pray that the decision makers, will really sit down and really look at the response to crime and criminality in a very critical, decisive, and all-round capacity. It's the only way we can go forward, JW. But as always, I'm there to support and give my best to Trinidad and Tobago, and I urge you to do the same.
Thank you so much, and I will. Officer Ali, all the best.
Sure.
That's right, legal officer under the umbrella of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Officer Zuhairi Ali touching base as we make our way to the 7 a.m. news update, and we come back after 7 with Johansi and some information from the Chamber. The big awards is around the corner. See you soon.
Diwali specials at Food Basket, Arima, Chaguanas, Champlain, and Gulfview. Nestle reconstituted 1 liter milk, 2 for $24.95. Nestle's green butterfly milk, 250 ml, 3 for $18.95. Good and natural cream of wheat, $14.95. Potatoes, 10 pounds for $20. Onions, 4 pounds for $9.95. Supercow full cream milk powder, 800 grams, $37.95. Shub Diwali from Food Basket. 4 locations: Arima, Champlain, Chaguanas, and Gulfview.
Let the divine lights of the Deers bring victory over darkness into your life. Happy Diwali to all. A message from Kaleidoscope Paints Limited.
Tile Depot Diwali sale on now. Stunning floors at dazzling prices. 12 by 12, $750. 17 by 17, $975. 18 by 18, $995. 20 by 20, $15.95. And 22 by 22, only $20. Visit Tile Depot Limited today at Bagney Chase Village. Call 234-4402. Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Your world never stops moving. That's why for over 40 years, Parts World has been here to keep it running. From first homes to family chaos to celebrations with friends, our appliances fit your world. And when something goes wrong, our service and parts departments are ready with the experts and the parts you need to keep life moving. No matter your world, Parts World fits. Appliances, service, parts. Trusted for over 40 years.
Would you recommend this product to younger people?
Age doesn't really matter. So I think if I was 17, 18 and I get introduced to these products, I would maybe be Superman. So
More Superman?
More Superman.
Absolutely outstanding.
Time check. Courtesy Anchor Cow Brand Ghee. Distributed by ADM.
Good morning, I'm Doris Polo with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. 2 men believed to be Trinbagonians were killed in the latest U.S. drone strike off Venezuelan waters, and now a Las Cuevas family is demanding answers. When Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said the United States should kill alleged drug dealers violently, no citizen was listed among the dead. Now on the U.S.'s 5th airstrike, Trinidadians Chad Joseph and another man identified only as Samaru were among 6 people killed on Tuesday, taking the number of alleged narco-traffickers killed by the U.S. since September 2nd to 27. Residents of Las Cuevas village stopped their card game as one man expressed how he feels about Joseph's killing.
What the U.S. doing there? I think it's inhumane, right? If all they really want, right, all they blow the boat up. What evidence it have showing really is drugs, and stuff like that. Let me say is guns, or even say is human trafficking, anything. We can. What is the closure the family having now?
A 20-year-old construction worker is dead and 3 others, including 2 teenagers, injured following an early morning shooting. Police say the shooting happened around 2 a.m. yesterday at an unfinished wooden structure in Caparo Valley near the Brasso police station. The victim has been identified as Christopher Joseph, also known as Ricky. He died at the scene.
It is unjust. People have no right running into people's homes and killing them because of whatever the case be. Look like in friendship, the people that died via that same method, gunmen running the house and just start killing people like the crazy. It's just like hate and arrogance and ignorance just running, just floating around and just people just doing as they will.
Joseph's brother, 23-year-old Collie, along with 15-year-old Jarrell Ganish and 16-year-old Darius Shadrach, were also shot and remain in serious condition at hospital. Both Ganish and Shadrach are students of the Tabakit Secondary School. Investigators say the group was gathered at the wooden structure when gunmen opened fire. A parent who is taking legal action against the state after his newborn died is supporting government's plan to establish a medical malpractice court. Back in March, an autopsy revealed that baby Serenity died due to complications of prematurity. However, a second privately conducted autopsy by Johan Lezama and his wife found that their daughter actually died from complications of a traumatic breached delivery. Lezama believes the tragedy could have been avoided and says the proposed court and no-fault compensation fund must be people-centered, stressing that potential compensation is secondary to the pain and trauma his family has endured. Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
Minutes after 7 o'clock, it's your second hour for this Feel Good Thursday. And as always, we start things off with your mental health matters. Johanse Arodike joins me in the car this morning, nice parked and ready to go. You answer? Greetings, my brother. Greetings.
Greetings, Jason. Greetings, everybody tuning in.
Well, you're asking one, or at least it's not so much a question, it's a statement. And you're saying this morning, quote, smile now, end quote. Smile now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we say that. That's part of the language, the local parlance, you know?
Correct.
And people tell you, well, hey, smile now.
Well, why? Why people say that?
I guess your face upside down, you know, you're looking, you know, you're in an environment, the vibe nice, you're just this sour. You know, we don't like sour people, so you're telling the person, hey, smile now.
But wait, if I feeling sour, why I can't express myself in a sour way? Why I have to smile?
Because you're souring, you remember sour people are sour. When something's sour, you want to say, just the word itself, sometimes that energy, people don't really want to be around that frequency. And my thing is, if the vibration up, people just be like, boy, move from your just sour vibes. You know, that's just the local sometimes interaction. Right. But I know you will elaborate and tell us why sometimes I guess that might not be the way. So I standing by, I waiting.
Right, yes. and correct. I understand what you're saying, because if you're in an environment, wherever, and the vibe's nice, no matter what it is, family get together, workplace, and a lime, etc., you know how you want to feel. But of course, that doesn't sometimes account for how others feel. And I'm saying that because it have many people who grow up hearing that. Let's start from a child. The parents always telling them smile. The parents always kind of dictating how they should feel. And then they grow up now not knowing how to understand and tap into those emotions and identify it. So then they're always smiling, even though they're not. And that tends sometimes to lead to unhealthy mental health.
Yeah, because another thing people tell you, fix your face, what I'm telling you, smile now. You know, all these are words that accompany the smile now. I guess, is it what, like people pleasing when people tell you to smile even though you want to?
Well, I ask a few people why you tell people that, whether it is men who tell women that, women who tell men, parents, and children, etc. Why? And I realize, based on their answers, most times it's not about the person, it's about them. Is that in some way they interpret the person's facial reaction in a negative way and they take it personally. So let me give you an example of some of the answers that I've heard. So parents would say, you know, if the child unhappy, people will see that and think there's bad parents. Right? Some men say, you know, well, if a woman not smiling at me, maybe she don't like me, maybe something wrong with me, and vice versa. Women say the same thing, well, maybe the man don't like me, something wrong with me. So most times, and I'm saying based on the people I ask, I'm not saying it's that for every case, but most times it's not about the person who not smiling, but the person who interpreting that person's facial reaction.
Interesting. What about the person who smiling all the time? They're just a guy smiley or a girl smiley. They just always gib, yap, just forever smiling. Is that something genuine? Is it overcompensation? Is it some kind of hiding a deeper hurt? Let's analyze that part of the smile, and we'll come back to the smile now. Because I always used to think about that. People who are always smiling.
I would say is we could go by case basis, but based on my experience, people who smile all the time, right? I say all the time, people who, you might, as you call it, them guys smiling, they're smiling too much. A lot of times, the smile is to compensate for something, right? They grow up again hearing people telling them, well, always smile now, or sometimes when they're just normal, they're not frowning or nothing, they're just the regular face. The regular face, people take that as if they're vexed or if something wrong. So instead of being proud of their normal face, people actually now ashamed of their face, and because it makes other people uncomfortable. So now they just learn to smile all the time because people can't take or misinterpret their regular face.
So you think it's something we should kind of, I guess based on your own research, empiricals, having deeper conversations with clients, is something probably we should move away from, to just be telling people, because, you know, I mean, let's be real, you want to say, if I'm not in a good mood, and I think everyone looking on this morning, if you're real with yourself, if we're honest, Beyonce always speaks of honesty. If you're not in the best mood and somebody tell you, smile now, you know, that actually a little more frustrating, you know. You actually will go deeper into your disgust, like, who the hell is you? You don't know why you're going through, telling me to smile? There's nothing to smile about right now. I under whatever peril. So that in itself could lead to confrontation, I know Beyonce.
Correct, and you're correct to that. And I'm saying it because yes, we know this is quote unquote part of culture, but because something is part of culture doesn't mean that it's healthy. And I'm not saying that everybody going to change tomorrow, but okay, a better question might be when you see somebody, what you think is frowning. It mightn't be frowning, but what you interpret as negative. Say, what's wrong? What's wrong different than smile now? Because smile now is a command. Smile now it could be dismissive. I'm dismissing how you really feel because I want a smile, because it's about me. So you could ask the person, well, what wrong? Where is a stranger or somebody, the person could answer you or not, but the fact they even ask what wrong could have a whole different kind of vibe and actually change that quote-unquote sourness to something positive.
Mm-hmm. Culture is one of the hardest things to change, and I guess as we grow as a people, we look at some of the common practices, what we would have grown up knowing, things we just do, just so natural, and we recognize now in modern times that we have to kind of move up. It reminds me of when people do see you for a long time, and the first thing that will come out of their mouth is, oh gosh, boy, you put on real weight, or you getting fat. Who the hell, what the hell, boy, and say, and families do that, family, oh my goodness, especially women don't take kind to that at all, you want to say.
Well, you see that part there? That part is still trying to decode why it is people just say, for want of a better word, outer time and things like that. Yes, I mean, notice the person either gain weight or lose weight, but why do I feel the need to say that? That I'm still trying to decode. But if I use the same premise now as a smile now, is because something about that could be making them uncomfortable, right? Sometimes you don't know what to tell the person. You have no conversational skills. You may not have anything in common with the person. So the only thing is like if you're scanning the person, just looking for something to talk about, because you don't have anything else to, or you don't know how to talk to this person.
But you see, even with the smile now, argument, if someone doesn't know you, and again, this is sometimes the woman and man interaction. A man might tell a girl hello. She keep her face in screensaver mode, right? She's serious. And you be like, I'm to your girl, smile now. And sometimes it might be followed like, we're feeling nice, and it goes downhill really fast. And I guess everybody will have their own cross to carry, and you don't know what somebody going through on any given day. So, right. When I think about it deeper, I guess the smile now, unless it's somebody you know personally, I feel it's not an utterance that should especially be told to strangers.
Because, as I say, the best thing you can say is everything okay, or you're good, right? Because, and if you really don't know the person, you don't even have to say anything, because I realize sometimes us Trinidadians, we feel like we always have to say something, right? I don't know if that is we could say it's culture, but sometimes you don't have to say anything, right? Small talk, not everybody in the mood for small talk, right? Not everybody in the mood to talk. If this morning I get up and I'm not having a good morning, quote unquote, right? And by not trying to spread it to nobody, I just keep it to myself. But you, because you see me and you uncomfortable with my sadness or my quietness or whatever, that bold-facedness, you come to try to make me change because you don't want to see me that way, right? And I'm putting it that way for us to understand sometimes the other side of the coin. And even though culture does take a while to change, when we start thinking, we could formulate new things to carry on better things to the generations.
You know what I'm saying? Smile now. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up this morning, man. Closing remarks.
Nation, because you're uncomfortable with how somebody looks, don't mean you have to try to impose something on them. Don't make life complicated. Because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
And thank you, Yohansi, for the perspective. Another impactful conversation, mental health matters, every single Thursday. Hey, Richard, smile now. See? Man, even smiling. That's one of my colleagues there. All right, anyway, let's take the pause. Let's take the pause. We come back with the CEO of the TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Champions of Business Awards around the corner, and we discuss the True Stories series. Vashti Gaiwadeen, up next.
Diwali specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Chamflair, and Gulfview. Cook's brand pure vegetable ghee, 1 pound, $24.95. 2 kilogram, $99. Pure coconut oil, 700 ml, $17.95. Jolly Foods granulated sugar, 1800 gram, $19.95. Chana, 5 pound, $20, save $9.95. Cocoa, 2 liter assorted, 3 for $20. Wax deals, case $1.99. Shop Diwali from Food Basket. 4 locations: Arima, Chamflair, Chaguanas, and Gulfview.
Folks, take a look at all these medical conditions. What does it have in common? This, ITIS. But what does ITIS really mean?
The suffix itis denotes inflammation of a specified organ or tissue.
ITIS really means inflammation. How do we combat chronic inflammation? Through lifestyle changes. Then, and only then, make sure you're getting enough omega-3 fatty acids.
Always consult a qualified medical professional before starting any supplements.
In Hinduism, cow's milk is revered, and from the finest milk comes our ghee. When offered into the sacred fire, cow ghee carries our prayers to the deities, unlike processed vegetable ghee. From your devotion to your delicious dishes, you can trust Anchor Cow Brand Ghee. For all occasions, use the best ghee. Enjoy the best food and delicacies, and have the best Diwali with Anchor Cow Brand Ghee.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
As promised, the CEO of the TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Vashti Gayodin, joins me on the Zoom line. Always a joy to touch base with you, Vashti. Let me say welcome as always. And could you believe it's that time of the year again, you know? What did time pass? What did time pass? I tell you, champions of business literally around the corner. What day are we looking at for the actual awards?
November 13th.
November 13th.
Yes.
Napa as always?
No. This year we are doing it. This year is 20 years, so we are hosting it at the Hyatt Regency.
Oh, Papa, yes, indeed. So this is, I would imagine, well, I mean, it's always a dress-up affair, but this one is a grand gala.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Let's touch in with the True Story series. Who are some of the folks that will be featured this time around?
So I'm not going to let the cat off the bag yet, Jason. So again, yes. Good morning and thank you for having me. So the Chamber is indeed proud to celebrate 20 years of the Champions of Business Awards, one of the most anticipated and prestigious events on our national business calendar. Over the past 20 decades, Champions of Business has not only celebrated achievements, but has helped shape the story of enterprise, innovation, and resilience in Trinidad and Tobago. And Jason, your viewers may ask, why does this matter to the public? These awards are not just about companies or CEOs. They are about our collective journey as a nation. Every business featured, every individual honored tells a Trinidad and Tobago story of hard work, innovation, and commitment to our country. It's about showing that businesses can be a force for good, creating jobs, driving change, and inspiring the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs. So you asked about the true stories. What about the true stories? The true stories are aired just before the gala on November 13th. And we share Champions of Business, which is a televised series in partnership with your station, Guardian Media Limited, and it airs at prime time on CNC3. The first episode will be aired on Tuesday, October 21st at 8 p.m. That's the day after Diwali.
That's next Tuesday? That's next Tuesday, yes, okay.
Yes. And it features 2 major categories, and these categories are the Green Agenda Award, which is sponsored by Proman, and the Business Hall of Fame, which is sponsored by Calco Limited. And as I stated, each story is powerful, emotional, and deeply rooted in what it means to build a sustainable and successful Trinidad and Tobago. So I'll just give your viewers a little insights into the Green Agenda Award. The Green Agenda Award recognizes companies that are actively building a greener, more sustainable future. And as you know, going green is not just good for the planet, but it's also good for your business. It celebrates leadership in energy efficiency, innovation, and environmental practices. It's the kind of work that ensures a cleaner Trinidad and Tobago. It's also fitting that Proman is sponsoring this category, given their global leadership in developing cleaner technologies and sustainable industrial practices. So what about the Business Hall of Fame? This is our key category. It's 20 years, as I stated before. This was launched in 2005. It honors those who have built legacies, our pioneers, our strategists, mentors, philanthropists. These are men and women who have shaped industries and inspired others to dream bigger. This year's inductees, I wouldn't let the cat off the bag, will be revealed in the True Stories episode on the 21st of October. The stories of inductees remind us that the foundation of strong nations lies in visionary leadership and integrity in business.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ms. Guardian, I know you hold lots of the information really close to your heart. I was hoping I could have squeezed or something all this morning, but nonetheless, I look forward. I guess all will be revealed via this series, and that's why it's important to tune in. You said as early as next week, Tuesday, we'll get a chance to see who are some of the key players. But when we look back on the years, the 20 years of seeing the theme for 2025 is indeed building legacies. Who are some of the stalwarts, the giants in business that would have been recognized via this function in the previous years?
Helen Baldwin-Singh comes to mind. Leon Agostini, Lanston Roach. So it's a full gambit of people who most of the citizens would come to know over the years. But the True Series here, you're getting to know what drive them, what really motivated them to do what they did.
That's right. When do tickets become available? And let us know, because I know you said Hyatt, so I would imagine there's a capacity scenario there. So walk us through that process for the early birds.
So tickets are already on sale. You can email us at events@chamber.org.tt or give us a call at 637-6966, extension 1303. And maybe most people, it's not COVID time, so most people like to walk in and come and purchase their tickets at the chamber.
That's right.
We look forward to seeing you all.
You know, interesting you said COVID, because I remember even during that time of the lockdown and there was not that public gathering, you all still continue with the awards. You all did a virtual awards. I remember I was part of that, and how impactful it was. So, you know, whether no matter the circumstance, the show will go on, I recognize.
Exactly.
That's right, that's right. In terms of our conversations, I would imagine, while the series is going on, we'll be joined, I'm sure, in the upcoming weeks with some of the sponsors and some of the key players, yeah?
Yes, definitely. So the sponsors will also be featured during the series, and they will tell their stories, why they are part of this series and this whole awards gala event. And you learn about what they are doing differently to make Trinidad and Tobago better and more sustainable.
And while we're there on the stakeholders, who are some of the key players making sure the awards is at least the 20th edition? I know it's a grand gala. You're going to Hyatt Regency this time around. Who are some of the key players making it possible?
So we have Proman, Calco Limited, Republic Bank, B-Mobile, Exim Bank Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, and as well as we have our brand sponsors, Combined Engineering, National Flour Mills, Nutrimix, Southern Sales, Unicoma, Extra Foods, and our media partners, Guardian Media and Music Radio 97.1 FM.
Indeed. On a personal note, Ms. Gayodine, as CEO of the Chamber, what's your biggest takeaway? You know, what's your sense of, boy, you know, we have made a major mark by throwing this event. And your quiet moments, obviously, when the dust settled, what's your greatest takeaway personally?
So, Jason, this has indeed been one of remarkable achievements for the Chamber, because I worked at the Chamber back in 2007 to 2010. So it would have been just early days of these awards when I was here. And what the Chamber has done in terms of driving this, moving this to full production. If you come and you attend the gala event, you would realize, wow, this is like a Hollywood, a Grammy Awards. And it's not just putting on a good show, but telling the stories, because I've been back at the Chamber for over a year. And in terms of driving a nation of exporters, we need to build a community around us. And in building that community, we need to develop practices where businesses share their failures, their learnings. And this is what these awards have been doing. This is what this series has been doing. So it has been inspiring others to achieve big, because people would walk in the lobby of the Chamber, and when they glance on the right-hand side and they see the Business Hall of Famers, they would come up to us and they say, you know what, I want to be a Business Hall of Famer in the next 5 years.
Yeah, so it gives people a sense of motivation. It's a particular benchmark. It's a gold standard, as it were.
Exactly.
Well, let me say again to you, Ms. Gayodine, a sincere thanks for being here. I know we will be touching base in the weeks ahead, as you mentioned, next Tuesday, the first in the True series, and then we prepare ourselves for November. You said it's November the 13th. It's a Thursday.
Yes.
At Hyatt Regency. Yes, it's going to be tremendous. And for the 20th installment, I know you're all going all out. So I look forward.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. See you next week. That's the CEO of the TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Up next, we come back. I think we have the daily. That's right. We take the pause and we come back with our daily health tips. See you soon.
Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
Diwali specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulfview. Nestle reconstituted 1 liter milk, 2 for $24.95. Nestle's green butterfly milk, 250 ml, 3 for $18.95. Good and natural cream of wheat, $14.95. Potatoes, 10 pounds for $20. Onions, 4 pounds for $9.95. Supercow full cream milk powder, 800 gram, $37.95. Shub Diwali from Food Basket. 4 locations: Arima, Champlain, Shagwana, and Gulfview.
Ping pong, some Charles chocolates, bounce into flavor.
Ping pong, everybody wants some. Roasted peanuts is the true #1. Ping pong, you better get a handful. This chocolate is so incredible. What's the snack everybody craves for? Ping pong, bounce into flavor. Chocolate coated peanuts, delicious top class A+. Ping pong, from Charles chocolates, bounce into flavor. Southern Food Basket, quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around, high quality meats pound for pound. Get the best for less, start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket, shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices, every aisle just wide and spacious. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
Welcome back. Let's check in with our daily health tip.
The daily health tip Brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth. Chronic inflammation doesn't just strike at random. It's also a central factor in arthritis, specifically rheumatoid arthritis. This autoimmune disorder turns the body's defenses against itself, attacking the joints and causing persistent inflammation. This leads to swollen, painful joints and can significantly impair daily activities. The inflammation associated with rheumatoid arthritis doesn't only damage joints, but can also affect other organs and lead to widespread symptoms. Over time, the chronic inflammation can cause the cartilage in the joints to degrade, resulting in loss of mobility and chronic pain. Combating this type of inflammation involves several proactive steps. Medications can reduce inflammation and slow disease progression. Physical therapy also plays a key role in maintaining joint function and reducing pain. Moreover, lifestyle changes, such as adopting an anti-inflammatory diet rich in antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids, can help manage symptoms. Regular exercise tailored to personal capacity helps maintain joint flexibility and strength, while also fighting off inflammation. Additionally, reducing stress through mindfulness, meditation, or gentle yoga can also decrease the body's inflammatory responses. By understanding how chronic inflammation contributes to arthritis and actively managing these symptoms, individuals can preserve their joint health and improve their quality of life. With the right strategies, living with arthritis can be more manageable. This health tip was brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong. The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth.
Sincere thanks. Up next, my colleague Ian Wason takes you through the Morning Shot, that in-depth look at sport. Morning Shot, up next.
This Diwali feature is brought to you by the Little Store in Cureb and Chatak Food Products Limited.
With days to go until the national holiday, Diwali celebrations have already kicked off vibrantly and brightly across the country. The Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission hosted its Diwali celebrations in Couva on Sunday, showcasing intricate bamboo bending designs and the lighting of diyas that lit up the evening. And as darkness fell, the diyas glowed brighter than ever, casting a warm, golden light that danced across the faces of onlookers and bringing the spirit of Diwali vividly to life. On display were cooking methods from decades past, evoking a sense of nostalgia as roti was prepared fireside on the chulha, made out of clay, arguably serving some of the best tasting East Indian meals. But just a few kilometers away, the celebrations continued, attracting hundreds at the opening of the 38th annual Diwali Nagar celebrations at the NCIC Nagar in Chaguanas. Filled with the rich sounds of Hindu tradition and culture. Speaking at the event, Finance Minister Dave Tanku made a call to nationals living abroad to return home and help rebuild the country, drawing parallels to the Hindu god Lord Rama's return to Ayodhya after exile. Tanku says the time has come for citizens to light up and lift up the nation together.
Across the seas live thousands of our sons and daughters, the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora. There are scholars in London, doctors in New York, teachers in Toronto, entrepreneurs in Miami, engineers in Dubai, and professionals in every corner of the globe. To you, our brothers and sisters around the globe, I say this: your exile is over, and your motherland, your Janmabhoomi, calls for you.
And Minister Tanku's appearance didn't stop there, as he surprised the audience with an impromptu performance, putting smiles on the faces of many. And while the weekend shimmered with sound and celebration, one thing remains, that in every flicker of light, we find warmth, renewal, and the promise of brighter days. Angelo Jatadaya, CNC3 News.
This Diwali feature is brought to you by the Little Store in Cureb and Chatak Food Products Limited.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar.